I think, as Blues fans, because we've been so used to disappointment and letdown, and I think there's this thing always on our minds that it's all the wheels are going to fall off. But actually, this is different this time. It feels different. It
Yeah.
feels like we've got a stronger squad. We've got a good structure and plan. So welcome back to BCFC Royal Blue. Now, occasionally, myself and Matt do these unscripted videos where we just have a general chat about, anything really, about what's going on at the Blues, anything we've heard, or just any general comments that we've want to discuss. And we're going to do that in this podcast. And I say it's completely unscripted, so it's just a general chat about what's going on at the moment. So, Matt, what's on your mind?
So for me, getting back to that top of the league, that's what's on my mind, getting the winning momentum back at this club. And I'm just looking forward to the international breaks going away. We haven't got one till March, which means we are going to have now a bit of a bottleneck of games. I think we've got a lot of weeks now where we have 3 games back to back. That's also on my mind. I'm thinking about squad rotation and what we can do differently to learn from the Charlton game and the Mansfield game and the Northampton game, all these things. But for me, full steam ahead and full focus on getting us back to top of the league.
Oh, those international breaks are a killer, aren't they?
Awful.
I mean, I do. I love England. I mean, that's my team, my national team. But I'm not interested in international football.
I'm the same.
I don't mind a World Cup or European Championship, something that actually means something. But the Nations League, I mean, what's all that about? Who really cares? And love the Blues, and you have these league games, and suddenly you've got to stop, and everything stops, and it changes absolutely everything, doesn't it? So I'm really looking forward to getting back to the league games, and also as well, Matt. There's not another international break now until March.
Yeah.
So it's plenty of games to go between now and then. Obviously, we've got the fantastic festive period. I love the Christmas football over the Christmas period and New Year period as well. So all has to come, and I'm looking forward to that. But you mentioned the point there about the fixture pile up, and I think that's on Blues' minds as well. They look at the league table and say we've played 13. Some teams have already played 16.
Yeah.
So we're already three games behind some teams, 2 games behind most, and just 1 game behind a few. And they're games that we've got to play. And that's not accounting for the EFL Trophy games that has to still be put into the calendar. So there's going to be another one added week commencing 9th of December. And then
FA Cup.
And the FA Cup, which we obviously got
Blackpool.
the current one in there at the moment. But if we progress in these competitions, that's going to be added to those. And we've also got to play the games that we've lost. Obviously, we're Exeter coming up on midweek after the Shrewsbury game. The Stevenage game or the Cambridge game still haven't been rearranged yet. Yeah. And then we're coming into the winter period where we might be playing teams that might postpone games. I mean, the home games will be played because unless the weather is excessively bad, we'll still play the home games because we've got underground heating, and I was going to say underfloor heating there, but it's under pitch heating, haven't we? So yeah, I think that's on Blues fans' minds as well, that we're going to have a lot of games in a short period of time, and it's gonna test our squad.
Yeah, and who wants to go to Exeter on a Tuesday evening? As I said, these fixtures then get closer together, more intense, and from my point of view here in terms of Blues, the way we capitalise on this and make the most of it, it's all about squad rotation. We need to keep having fresh players on the pitch, and we have our core 11. Let's not deviate from that. But sometimes Iowata and Paik, they play every game, pretty much 90 minutes guaranteed, don't they?
Yeah.
We need to put Mark Lennon in that position as an example of that, in my opinion. And
I think we'll see that, Matt. I think now it's going to almost be imposed. I don't think it's a choice anymore. I think because of the amount of games we've got coming in such a short period of time, there's absolutely no choice but to play the squad.
Yeah.
And that's where we are going to see. I think we're going to see some unusual team selections compared to what Chris Davis has been picking as what he's classified as his core 11. But it's necessary to put strong. The good thing is we've got a strong squad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is where we excel amongst most of the League One teams. I mean, even Championship clubs to the better part of it. I think we have such depth in numbers.
Yeah.
There's been players this year that haven't even been making our bench. And I know we have a lower amount in the Championship. We have 7, not 10.
League One.
Sorry, League One. Yeah, but instead of the Championship, because in Championship you have 10, don't you?
9, I think. There's
9,
a couple of extras, yeah. But it does look like a light bench when you only see 7 players. I do agree.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see the point of it because you can only put 5 subs on anyway. So what does it matter if you've got 7 or 9 players? You can only put 5 on maximum subs, and I think it favours the smaller teams as well because who maybe haven't got the biggest squads, whereas we've got quite an arsenal of players we could put on there.
Yeah.
And it restricts us putting 2 of those players on that we could potentially be options, and you might need as you manage the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I've got no idea why the in League One and League Two you only get 7 subs, and it's not the same in the Championship or the Premier
Bizarre,
League.
isn't it?
It's really strange.
Yeah.
There's obviously a reason for it, but I just don't get it.
No, I'm the same. Yeah, I don't get it at all. But I mean, moving on to other things. I mean, I obviously we had the open house last week.
Yeah.
Really good to hear about the club's future developments, and we put a video out earlier in the week, Dad, about the open house. And I did notice a pattern in the comments saying, not that it's irrelevant, but let's concentrate on the league first. Let's get back in the Championship. So I think, don't get me wrong, Blues fans are loving the new stadium developments. They're loving everything Wagner's doing. But clearly the priority, and rightly so, from the fan base, is getting us back into the Championship.
Always will
it has
be.
to be. It has
Always
to be.
will be. It doesn't matter, Well, it does matter. Of course, it matters. It matters very much what the club are doing, and obviously the future's bright. But football fans are always going to focus on that league table.
Absolutely.
It's almost like tunnel vision, isn't it? So you can have, like everything that's going on is fabulous around the club, and the future is, really sort of looking rosy. But it is all about that league position as well. Something I've noticed as well. Again, this is just general comments in social media, is that you see Blues fans really monitoring when we haven't got a game what's going on in the games and panicking. Oh no, Wickham have scored, or oh that's a good result for us. And you think to yourself, well, yeah, that's absolutely fine doing that. And you think to yourself, well, at the end of the day, every team in that league have to play each other at some point, okay? And then there are going to be phases in the season where teams like Wickham are going to go on amazing runs. They're going to win games, and there's going to be times when teams will start to go on the other way. And that's just the natural progress of the season. But I think, as Blues fans, because we've been so used to disappointment and letdown, and, I think there's this thing always on our minds that the wheels are going to fall off. But actually, it's different this time. It feels different. It feels like we've got a stronger squad. We've got a good structure and plan in place. And really, I'm saying this not to Blues fans, but this also applies to me and you as well, is to try not to worry too much about the teams as they play each other. Because if we take care of our own business with our squad, we will win the league if we do that. But of course, as we know, as we've already seen, that teams are going to come to us. It's their cup final. They're going to park the bus, and we're going to have all these things, which I think we would have expected at the start of the season, actually. But when you're actually in it and you see it just thinks it makes you realise how tough this league actually is.
You know what I've been finding more, because we say that a lot, teams up their games against Blues and teams, treat it as their cup final. And I do agree with that element. But what's even more important than that for me is what I'm noticing. We've played 13 league games, right? 11, 12 teams have just put 11 players in their own half. That's it. They have no strategy apart from going long, going direct, hoping to catch us on the counter. And I can't believe how effective it's been.
Yeah.
I can't believe how well, actually, League One teams are very good at set pieces. There's something in the water at this level. And they're good at parking the bus and catching you on the break. And there's something to be said for that style of football. I mean, it's not pretty. It's not impressive to watch. But I just wish we had that. When you see like Peterborough and Bolton and they're scoring 5s and 4s and 3s, I feel like we should be doing that, but I feel like we haven't quite got the knack yet of killing League One teams off or breaking them down. And I think we've said this on a few podcasts recently, Dad. I think when we go at teams, we have a lot of possession, we play it a lot in their half. We need to speed it up, because when we speed it up, we look really dangerous. Yeah. And that's how you get teams chasing shadows. And I know Chris Davies has this style of football of kind of poaching, kind of like having a jab and then retreating, having a jab and then seeing what gaps are going to open. That's his kind of style.
He refers to it as pounding the rock, doesn't he? You keep pounding the rock until it breaks.
Yeah.
But the problem is we haven't been able to break it as often as we like. That's the problem.
And the break is too it's too close for comfort sometimes. Like we've seen it against other teams where, fair enough, we have won, but they could have easily equalised or we could have easily lost the game. So for me, I just want to see us killing teams off. That's a big thing from here. In the second half of the league now, when we move into the Christmas break and beyond, I want to see us having that real big killer instinct. And I think it'll come. I think it's easy to forget, Dad, when you're winning games and you're moving through League One. This is a brand new squad still.
Yeah.
And I know some fans aren't a fan of that whole gel period or maybe giving them too much respect because we are 13 games in now. But this literally is a brand new team. It was always going to take time for this to click and to gel. I think we have. I think we are there. We are definitely cranking up the gears in a lot of games. But those teams that park the bus, I just want to see us be a bit more intelligent with the way we go at them and break them down.
Yeah, and that is going to be the difference, whether we make the league easier for us or we make our life much more difficult, because this is like we saw against Northampton, we dropped 2 points. We dropped 2 points against Mansfield, although Mansfield were not frightened to come at us, and that's disappointing, and that's our own doing. That, as you say, has to change. I think also we've got this ongoing debate, haven't we, between the fan base and the problem that Chris Davis has got is how do you play Stansfield and May in the same team?
The experiment so far hasn't worked.
It hasn't worked, but clearly, individually, they're very good players. But we know that Alfie May, over the last few seasons, playing for Charlton and before that for Cheltenham, he scored all his goals in that number 9 position.
Yeah.
But of course, Chris Davies is trying to accommodate this really expensive signing at the Blues, Jay Stansfield, who we all love, fantastic player. But that's stifling Alfie May. And this is the difficulty. And I think if you can get that sorted out, I mean, I think, over the coming months now, we're playing loads of games. I've got a feeling that we won't see both of them in the same team. Yeah. I think we will see occasionally one of them will be on the bench starting and stuff like that.
If May isn't in the 9 and Stansfield isn't out in the wide, in my opinion, I don't really want them in the same team, because if that means putting Stansfield in the 9 and May anywhere else, in my opinion, Alfie May, he's more disruptive than he is productive. And that's not his fault. He's been put in a position he's not used to playing. He's a 9, he's a poacher, he's a goal scorer, he's a...
Kevin Phillips type
Kevin
of thing.
Phillips, that's what I was looking for. Exactly, Kevin Phillips, he's that kind of player.
And they're prolific if you give them the service, but he needs to be in that position to do that. And I think also, I think he would agree. I think Alfie May is such a hard-working player that sometimes when he's played in the number 10 role, he's sort of in positions that other people should be in, so they're not bumping into each other, but it is sort of affecting the shape of the team.
It is.
And I think that needs to be sorted out, because Alfie May needs to play in that number 9. But, I think, as I say, I think we're going to see quite a lot of squad rotation over the next few months because of the amount of games we've got. We're going to have injuries, we're going to have suspensions, and I think we will see Alfie May played in at number 9.
I'll tell you what, though, I think we're going to see Dykes feature a bit more as well, because of the physicality nature of League One. And I know he has his critics, I get that. I actually am a fan of Dykes. I quite like him because he does that thing which good players do, which you can't see. He pulls the opponents out of position because he's physical. He does drag those centre halves further forward. I mean, look at the goal against Mansfield away. He pulled the centre halves completely out of position. Then we went on the break. So, I think we'll see a bit more Dykes. I'd love to see him get. I know he scored against the Fulham under-21s. I'd love to see him get his first league goal or maybe a cup goal or something. I think he needs that confidence boost. But I think we're going to see a bit more Dykes. I think you're right, Dad. I think we're going to see a bit more rotation between Stansfield and May. And I think there might be some surprise. I mean, Yokoyama might even get a start. I mean, that doesn't sound like a surprise, like he's not good enough, but Chris Davies is definitely holding him back a little bit, isn't he? So we might see some surprise starts as well over the Christmas break.
Yokoyama, a lot of people are calling for Yokoyama to start. I personally think because of his age and he's new to the club, I think he'll be more used as an impact sub. And Chris Davies was not happy with him against Northampton.
He nearly lost his goal, didn't he?
Because he didn't track back, did he? Because Chris Davis was absolutely fuming. But he's learning. He's a young lad. He's skillful. He makes things happen. That's why I think he's better as an impact sub coming on. But it's a good dilemma for Chris Davis to have as well. And of course, we're not a million miles away from the January transfer window.
Yes.
Any thoughts on that?
I think if there is any action in the window, it'll be very minor. I think we have a very good squad now.
Do you think we'll see anybody go? Because, there's rumours that they might free up a few spaces in the squad by letting a few go.
The rumours are Sanderson could go. I haven't heard any official rumours yet, but I don't think we'll see too much action because we're a new squad, and I think we're only just really starting to settle. So I think too much disruption could do a lot more.
I don't think we need to make loads of business in January because of the business we've already done in the summer. We've obviously got strength in all positions, but I think centre half is the one that's been particularly muted, isn't it, in terms of what happened to Sanderson and whether we bring somebody else in as well. It's only speculation, but I don't know whether anything you read on social media is absolutely correct. I had rumours about whether Tyler Roberts might be sold or to free up a space in the squad, even though he's out on loan. I get that, but who knows? But I don't see any major areas that we need to strengthen.
Dad, just to interject quickly, as it's relevant to the January transfer market, what are your thoughts now on the goalkeeper situation? Because we had Bailey, Peacock Farrell, who then had a few clangers. Allsop came in and then started to settle. Do you think now that's Allsop's position and you're happy with him as our first team goalkeeper?
Without a doubt. Yeah. I think he's got his confidence in that position. He's the goalkeeper now that we saw at Hull. He's a good quality goalkeeper. I'm really pleased that I'm happy with him in goal. Bailey Peacock-Farrell as a backup, it's not a bad backup to have, is it? So I don't think there's any major need now to go panic to get a goalkeeper in January.
Well, Allsop saved a penalty against Lincoln recently. Brilliant save against Northampton in the first half. He's proving
Mansfield, he saved two. I mean, they should have scored 2 goals. I mean, some fantastic saves against Mansfield.
So he's proven his shot stopping ability, and we all know his distribution is outstanding. He has had a few games where you think, oh, that was poor, but as an average and the majority, his distribution is outstanding.
Oh, he's out and out number one now.
I think he is actually proving he's valuable to this squad, and I don't think we'll look for a goalkeeper in January. Summer, who knows? But I think for the rest of this season, I'm perfectly happy with Allsop.
I think a few, at the start of the season, a lot of people were suggesting that we might need to look for a goalkeeper in January. Now with Allsop in goal, my only worry is if he got injured, because that mean that we've got Bailey Peacock-Farrell to come in, and he's not. There's no doubt that he's a decent goalkeeper as well. But it's just that teams will know that they pressurise him, put him under pressure. He's prone to more mistakes. But so at the moment, as things stand, I think we're okay. But who knows what the club will do as well. Yeah. One final thing as well for me is the EFL Trophy draw. I mean, this video is going to go out on Friday, and the draw's on Friday. I'm not too sure what time it is. So obviously we'll find out who our next opponents are. Now, because we are a runner-up in the group, we will be drawn against one of the winners in our section as well. So I have actually made a note because who potentially we could who we could draw here. So
all I know is that Charlton are on the list.
They are,
and that's the one I do not want.
Yeah. So, but basically, the winners of the groups in our section of the draw, because you can't play people in another section yet because it's regionalised, are Wickham, Charlton, Cheltenham, Colchester, Peterborough, Burton and Exeter. So we will be drawn away at one of those.
Surely Cheltenham or Colchester's the two you got to have your eye on. No disrespect, just in terms of league positions and where everyone is.
It's a banker. We'll draw Charlton.
Oh yeah.
because we drew them in the was it the Carabao Cup?
I don't want to go back to the Valley.
No, me neither.
We've been there enough already.
And
this season.
It's going to be a midweek game as well.
Yeah.
So but we know what we get, who we get, and it's just another step to.
To be fair, there's some good teams in there.
Yeah.
Well, clearly they won their group, so they're all going to be decent teams. But it could be an interesting next round draw, couldn't it?
Yeah. So again, like we said, the more we progress in both the EFL Trophy and in the FA Cup, the more fixtures are added to our calendar.
Yeah.
And that's just going to increase that pile up we were talking about earlier. But it's all it's all positive. It's nice to have all these games coming up, but it's going to be a long old winter with the but not just for us though, is it? It's the same for other teams as well. Yeah. So it's not just Birmingham City. But
that's it.
Any other points or anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, I just got our Barnsley tickets the other day. I'm looking forward to that because there's a lot of banter at the moment between Barnsley and Blues fans about who has the best midfield. It's been a while since I've been to Oakwell, so looking forward to getting back there. And
we got 5,000 tickets for that.
5,000 tickets, yeah. So to me, that says one or two things: either it'll be flat as a pancake, or it's going to be rocking for the full 90 minutes. So
if you're a Blues fan that's been struggling to get to away games, there's your opportunity because that'll go to season ticket holders. That will
get to general sale 5,000. Yeah, because we were averaging. I say in the Championship, you averaged 2,500 to 3,000 away, and they were making, I think, 17 games last season made it to general sale. So. Yeah. The reason why people kick off about tickets is because we're in League One. The allocations are small.
Yeah, well, no complaints against Barnsley. I mean, that's going to allow a lot of Blues fans to get there. Well, great atmosphere. I think it'll be a great atmosphere. The more Blues fans are, the better. It'll always be fantastic.
Exactly. Yeah, looking forward to that. And Dad, me and you have a Christmas tradition on Boxing Day of going for a couple of beers in town and then watching the game. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. My only one thing in my mind is the sort of bottlenecking of the fixtures, just hoping sure we can get through this okay. A bit of squad rotation, but I'm excited. Lots of football to play coming up and bring on climbing back to that first top of the league.
That's where we want to be, isn't it? Yeah, but so that's what we think, Blues fans. Is anything on your mind? Let us know in the comments below. Anything that we've already discussed, or maybe something that you want to bring to our attention or to the attention of the viewers of the channel. Then just pop a comment below and let us know. And let us know if you're excited about the fixtures coming up, and what you think is likely to happen with the team in terms of rotation. Anything on your mind, leave us a comment below. As always, we do hope you like our podcast, and if you do, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't checked us out on our social media channels already, pop along to our X page and our Instagram page. And also, as well, if you like to listen or watch your podcast on Spotify, you'll also find us there as well now. And you'll see the handles appearing on the screen for all of these right now. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button and the bell notification if you want to be notified every time we put a podcast out. So myself and Matt then will see you all on the next podcast, all about Birmingham City.